3, 2. Good afternoon and welcome to the Public Service Commission of South Carolina. It is Thursday, May 2nd at 2 p.m. and we are here for our regularly scheduled business meeting. Let's take a roll call of commissioners. Present in the hearing room, we have Commissioner Justin Williams, Vice Chair Powers, Commissioner Thomas, Commissioner Caston, and Chair Belser. And with us virtually, we have Commissioner Carolee Williams. Before we begin today's agendas, I invite you to join me for a moment of silent reflection. Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Scarborough.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Vice Chair Powers, and Commissioners. First item of business is to set the next regularly scheduled business meeting. Staff recommends that the next commission business meeting be scheduled for 2 weeks from today. That's Thursday, May 16th, 2024 at 2 p.m.
We will set our next regularly scheduled business meeting for Thursday, May 16th at 2 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Today we have 10 items on the utilities agenda and 11 items on the transportation agenda. Item number 1 appears in docket number 2024-135C. This is a petition from the South Carolina Telephone Coalition for a waiver of Commission Regulation 103-631 concerning printed telephone directories on an expedited basis.
Commissioners, we've heard utilities agenda item 1 is identified by Mr. Scarborough. Do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair, may I make a motion?
Vice Chair Powers is recognized.
Thank you very much. I move the Commission waive Commission Regulation Section 103-631 pursuant to Regulation 103-601.3, which allows the Commission to waive application rules in any case where compliance introduces unusual difficulty or where circumstances indicate that a waiver of one or more rules or regulations is otherwise appropriate. A rule or regulation may be waived by the Commission upon a finding that a waiver is not contrary to the public interest. Regulation 103-631 requires telephone utilities to publish and distribute to customers a directory at regular intervals. The publication and distribution of printed directories is an obligation that has been imposed on incumbent local exchange carriers that is not imposed on other telephone utilities. Furthermore, printed telephone directories are becoming obsolete. Incurring cost of publication is unnecessary. As such, it is appropriate to grant the petition for waiver of Commission Regulation Section 103-631 as waiver of the rule is not contrary to the public interest. So moved, and I would like a comment afterwards.
Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers, and we'll open to discussion and recognize Vice Chair Powers.
Madam Chair and other commissioners, it doesn't sound like a big deal, but having lived so long, and I think of my office, and when I moved out, I must have had 30 or 40 telephone directories and refused to throw them away. I threw them away. Now I wish I had them so I could take them and sell them to an antique store or something. But this is a big change, but it's something that really, I think if people need it, they can get it. But otherwise, I think it's a very proper sort of action.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Vice Chair Powers.
Vote aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 2 appears in docket number 2023-89E. This item concerns a letter from Duke Energy Progress, LLC, regarding a letter of opinion from the South Carolina Department of Revenue related to the utilities storm cost securitization process.
With regard to utilities agenda item number 2, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas is recognized.
thank you. I move the commission accept for filing on behalf of Duke Energy Progress, LLC, a copy of the opinion letter from the South Carolina Department of Revenue finding the South Carolina sales and use tax to be applicable to the storm recovery charge and the storm recovery charge to be included in gross receipts for South Carolina license fee purposes. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
And I vote aye, and the motion carries.
Item number 3 is in docket number 2023-361E, which involves final disposition of this docket.
With regard to utilities agenda item number 3, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission deny the complaint of Clyde Kennedy versus Dominion Energy South Carolina, Inc., under South Carolina Code Annotated Regulation 103-342K, also known as the K Rule. A full order is forthcoming outlining the basis for denial and dismissal of the complaint.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Justin Williams. Is there any discussion?
Chair Belzer?
Commissioner Carolee Williams?
Thank you. Commissioner Williams, I appreciate your motion, and this one is a hard choice for me, in that the law doesn't define what is a householder. So I've read the transcript very carefully, and because of concerns for different interpretations and potentially inconsistent application of the K rule, I am not going to be able to support your motion. I do think that in the future, this commission should consider rulemaking or some other method in which to better define and offer guidance for what is a householder. In the process of taking testimony in this case, evidence was gathered that indicated that the persons who did not pay within the past 6 years were never physically a part of Mr. Kennedy's household. And without a definition that gives me more clarity, I have to go with what I internally feel is a plain and ordinary definition of what is a member of a household. So for that reason, I'm respectfully voting against your motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, any further discussion? Commissioners, and Commissioner Williams in particular, I appreciate your motion, but I will not be supporting it either. I do recognize that the term household and the phrase member of the household are not defined in the Commission's regulations, and under rules of statutory construction, I think we look to the plain and ordinary meaning of those terms, and I have to look to the dictionary that says, that a household is, I know it was used in the proposed order, but I also look at I have Merriam-Webster dictionary on my desk, that those who dwell under the same roof and compose a family, or also a social unit composed of those living together. And I know that the complaint originally indicated that the people in the house were relatives of the complainant. I do not think that relative equates to a member of the household, unless it can be shown that there is some time when they are under the roof together. And I think that my view of the evidence is that does not support that the complainant was a member of the household when these bills were incurred. Therefore, I don't think that the K rule is applicable to the facts of this case, and I cannot support the motion, although I certainly understand where you're coming from. Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed.
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
I don't know how this vote is going to turn out, but if it turns out in a manner where my motion prevails, I will respond to you and Commissioner Williams in the order, but I think we will be here all day if we keep this up.
I think we could be here for quite a while. So.
Yeah. But thank you. I appreciate your perspective.
Thank you. We'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Justin Williams.
I vote aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
No.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
And I vote no, and by a vote of 4-2, the motion carries.
Item number 4 is in docket number 2024-1E. This is a motion for admission pro hoc vici of Michael K. Labanga Esquire, filed on behalf of Nucor Steel, South Carolina, a division of Nucor Corporation.
With regard to Utilities Agenda Item 4, is there a motion?
Chair Belser, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carolee Williams is recognized.
Thank you. I move that the commission grant the motion for admission pro hoc vici of Michael K. Labanga Esquire.
Thank you. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Carolee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 5 appears in docket number 2024-81E. This is a request from Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated for confidential treatment of Appendix C to Nathan V. Bass's testimony.
With regard to Utilities Agenda Item 5, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston is recognized.
I move that the commission grant the request of Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated for confidential treatment of Appendix C, NVB-2, to the direct testimony of witness Nathan V. Bass. I so move.
Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams,
I vote aye.
and I vote aye, and the motion carries.
Item number 6 is in docket number 2019-108G. This item involves acceptance for filing of the 43rd Amendment to the United States Department of Defense contract for Fort Jackson and a request for confidential treatment of the agreement, filed on behalf of Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated.
Commissioners, we've heard Utilities Agenda Item 6 identified. Do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission accept for filing the 43rd Amendment to the United States Department of Defense contract at Fort Jackson and grant the request for confidential treatment of the agreement as filed on behalf of Dominion Energy South Carolina, Inc. So moved.
Thank you. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Justin Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 7 appears in docket number 2024-109E. This is a request from Duke Energy Progress, LLC, for confidential treatment of Justin LaRoche's testimony.
With regard to Utilities Agenda Item 7, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas is recognized.
I move that the commission grant the request of Duke Energy Progress, LLC, for confidential treatment of the direct testimony of Justin LaRoche.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll have a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 8 is in docket number 2011-158E. This is a request from Duke Energy Corporation for confidential treatment of its 2023 annual report of investments in exempt wholesale generators and foreign utility companies.
With regard to Utilities Agenda Item 8, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston is recognized.
I move that the commission grant the request of Duke Energy Corporation, Duke Energy, for confidential treatment of its 2023 annual report of investments in exempt wholesale generators and foreign utility companies. This request for confidential treatment is made pursuant to South Carolina Code Annotated Regulations 103-804S2. Duke Energy asserts that the report contains confidential, proprietary, and sensitive information that, if disclosed, could harm Duke Energy's investment in business interest in the competitive market, and that it is entitled to protection under the South Carolina Freedom of Information Act. So move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 9 is in docket number 2024-85S. This is the application from Jacob Utilities LLC for approval of contracts with Goldie and Associates Incorporated and Greenstone Construction LLC.
With regard to Utilities Agenda Item 9, do I hear a motion?
Chair Belser,
Vice Chair Powers is recognized.
thank you very much. I move the commission approve J-Cab Utilities LLC's application for approval of contracts with Goldie and Associates Incorporated and Greenstone Construction LLC filed with commission on February 26, 2024, pursuant to order number 2024-97 and docket number 2023-29-S. There are a total of 22 contracts between J-Cab and Goldie and Associates relating to operations and utility management, 10 groundwater sampling analysis, and water operations and utility management. The earliest contract is dated September 2009, and most recent is dated January 2024. Approval of these contracts will not have any effect on current rates and does not guarantee recovery of any payment under the contracts, as any expenditures pursuant to the contracts are subject to a review for reasonableness, prudency, and adherence to general rate-making principles in a rate case or other proceeding addressing rates or cost recovery. In other words, approval of the contract does not inhibit or impair any party of record from examining or making recommendations concerning the appropriate rate-making treatment, recovery of costs or expenses, accounting treatment, or activities under the contracts for reasonableness and prudency, and other general rate-making principles in any future proceeding addressing rates or cost recovery. Costs and expenses pursuant to the contracts will be subject to the same review as other costs and expenses in a proceeding addressing cost recovery or rates. The Commission takes this opportunity to remind JCAB that pursuant to South Carolina Code Annotated Regulations 103-541 and 103-743, any contract which impacts or pertains to its fitness, willingness, and ability to provide its services must be submitted in form, that is, before the execution of the contract, to the Commission and ORS for review and approval by the Commission. So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair Powers. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from the Vice Chair. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 10 is in docket number 2023-211WS. This item involves clarification of Commission Order number 2024-280 dated April 25th, 2024.
With regard to Utilities Agenda Item 10, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston is recognized.
in clarification of an amendment to order number 2024-280 dated April 25th, 2024, I move that the Commission direct the Clerk's Office to schedule this matter for hearing by issuing a notice of public hearing. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston?
I would like to note that this is amending the prior directive order to not require the clerk to do a transmittal letter and other items. As the notice of filing and transmittal letter were done, the notice of hearing will set the procedural pre-filing dates and hearing date.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate the clarification. Commissioners, any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Madam Chair, that completes the utilities agenda before the Commission. Moving on to the motor carrier agenda, in Part A, we have 7 requests for new Class C and Class E certificates. Item A1 appears in docket number 2024-127T, which is the application of Life First Medical Transport LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item A2 is in docket number 2024-128T. This is the application of Mike's Movers LLC for a Class E household goods certificate. Item A3 is in docket number 2024-129T. This is the application of Pepper Hill SNF Operations LLC for a Class C stretcher van certificate. Item number 4 appears in docket number 2024-130T. This is the application of Always On Time Transportation LLC for a Class C taxi certificate. Item number 5 is in docket number 2024-131T. This is the application of Transpire Transportation Services LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 6 is in docket number 2024-132T, which is the application of Low Movers LLC for a Class E household goods certificate. And item number 7 is in docket number 2024-133T. This is the application of Transportation Punctuality LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate.
Commissioners, we've heard the agenda items on the transportation agenda identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there any discussion? Is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Caston is recognized.
Thank you. I move that the commission approve the applications for Class C and Class E certificates in item numbers A1 through A7 as listed by Mr. Scarborough.
Thank you. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams?
I vote aye.
And I vote aye as well, and the motion carries.
In Part B of the transportation agenda, we have 2 requests to withdraw certificates. Item B1 appears in docket number 2024-75T. This is a request from Alleycat Transport LLC to withdraw its application for a non-emergency certificate and to rescind Commission Order number 2024-194.
With regard to transportation agenda item B1, is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Caston?
I move that the commission grant the request of Alleycat Transport LLC to withdraw its application for Class C non-emergency certificate and rescind Commission Order number 2024-194.
Thank you. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item B2 is in docket number 2024-121T. This is a request from SST America LLC to withdraw its application for a Class C non-emergency certificate and to close this docket.
With regard to transportation agenda item B2, is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission grant the request of SST America LLC to withdraw its application for Class C non-emergency certificate and rescind Commission Order number 2024-252. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Justin Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
In Part C of the transportation agenda, we have 1 request for an extension of time. Item C1 appears in docket number 2011-139T. This is a request from Jerry Davis for a 3-month extension of time to comply with Commission rules and regulations.
With regard to transportation agenda item C1, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Vice Chair Powers.
I move that the commission grant the request for a 3-month extension of time until July 25th, 2024 to comply with commission rules and regulations.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
In Part D of the transportation agenda, we have one item, which appears in docket number 2024-84T. This item involves amending Commission Order number 2024-221 to correct a clerical error that omitted certain counties from the scope of authority requested in the application of Thomas Justice doing business as Drive Pros for a Class C charter certificate.
With regard to transportation agenda item D1, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas?
I move the clerk's office amend Directive Order number 2024-221 issued on April the 11th, 2024, which, due to a clerical error, omitted certain counties from the scope of authority requested by Thomas Justice, DBA Drive Pros, in the company's application for Class C charter certificate for operation of motor vehicle carrier. Directive Order number 2024-221 should be amended to grant Thomas Justice, DBA Drive Pros, the authority to provide motor carrier services in the following counties: between points and places in the counties of Cherokee, Chester, Greenville, Lancaster, Richland, Spartanburg, and York in the state of South Carolina. With this correcting amendment to a clerical error related to the counties of authority for the motor carrier within the South Carolina, I further move that the Commission set that there is no change in the effective date of this amended order number 2024-221A from that of May the 11th, 2024, as originally provided by order number 2024-221. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Madam Chair and Commissioners, this concludes all business noticed before the Commission today.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. As previously stated, our next regularly scheduled business meeting is set for May 16th at 2 p.m. I do note that we have noticed a special commission business meeting for Friday, May 3rd, tomorrow at 9 a.m. And with that, I wish everyone a good afternoon, and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.